I just built what might be the most surprising gravel bike you've never heard of. And it's already changing everything I thought I knew about bikes. So why would I choose a frame at a $2,000 price point that's not carbon? And what makes this bike so special? I can explain. This is a Blackheart Gravel AL, a no-nonsense adventure rig that is twisting my perception of carbon. This isn't just adding another bike. This thing is a tool with a purpose. The idea was to find a bike that wasn't a big box brand, that had ties to the culture, also approachable for testing and reviewing products. For you, I'm doing this for you. This is all, I thought you would appreciate that. This thing is infinitely recyclable, it has a modest build, and it rides, oh, I'll tell you how it rides. But this thing has some unexpected surprises and some challenges that did happen along the way. Wouldn't be a bike build without it. Is this bike just an outlier, or does it actually hold the key to the future of bikes? Because it's technically my job, I figured I'd get to the bottom of this for you. The goal was to set up a bike specifically for testing products. I didn't want something totally over the top. I wanted something mid-tier that performed well and looked good while doing it. And after a lot of research, I ended up on Blackheart, a small brand from Northern California, whose mission is to create a culture free from unwritten rules and the pressure to conform. I don't know why I won't go inside, but here's the catch. At $2,000 for the frame and fork, we start entering the territory of carbon fiber, which this frame is not. Did I make a mistake? Aluminum doesn't necessarily have the best reputation. It's often seen as cheap, stiff, and uninspiring, but still, there was enough things about the Blackheart to help it stand out. It's from the culture, the understated style, you can customize the paint, and the cherry on top is their custom carbon bar stem combo. That's only $300. That was enough to help me move forward. Oh my God, MB's bar stem combo is $1,200. We've all been there, enjoying the freedom of the bike, not a care in the world, when suddenly, everything changes. I was injured in an accident. Bills were piling up, stress was overwhelming, I didn't know where to turn. Then I found Bicycle Law. They're not just attorneys, they're cyclists who face the same challenges we have. Here's how it works. First, we sit down for a free consultation. Then we investigate every detail, building your case. Finally, we'll fight diligently to get you the compensation you deserve. It's like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. Now I can focus on getting back on the bike. With Bicycle Law, you're not alone on this journey. They're here to guide you back to the freedom you deserve. Hit the link below to contact Bicycle Law today to get you back in the saddle. Building this bike was totally straightforward. Mostly. This bike has internal cable routing, which means mechanical shifting is basically off the table. Okay, as a mechanic, would you pretty much say to never run mechanical on an internally routed bike?
I wouldn't advise it.
This bike is essentially made for wireless or electronic group sets. So I went with SRAM Apex Access, their most affordable wireless group set. It fucking rules. I also wanted these ruby red Expedo pedals for this bike because they just give the bike a fun, playful kind of feel. For the saddle, we're running the $65 bootleg 3D printed mirror saddle that I'm just a huge fan of. And this AliExpress bar tape is absolutely worth it. I'll put links to everything I can find down below. That one. And this saddlebag is worth mentioning. It's cool for a few reasons. One, when you open it up, it stays on the saddle. There's 2 pouches on it. One, I keep a Schwalbe TPU tube in there and a Dynaplug. And the bottom compartment comes with a mini ratchet rocket included. So you always have it. And I've found this is the most functional multi-tool of any kind. Highly suggested. And how much does this thing weigh? With a full tool pouch, bottle cage, and pedals, this thing weighs in at 22¼ pounds, or 10.09 kilograms. I forgot to mention, the fork is an Envy carbon gravel fork. It fits up to a 50 disc brakes. It's got mounts for whatever the hell you want to put on it. Yeah. And if you like bikes and insights on weird bike products, feel free to subscribe. I feel like aluminum has a bit of a marketing problem. It has a reputation of being harsh, uncomfortable, unforgiving, so I figured the best way to find this out for myself was to take it for a ride. The thing is, this bike doesn't feel like you would expect. It's got a bit of a vibe to it. I don't know what it is, but I like it. Part of it might be that it's a custom build. Part of it might be the geometry. Whatever it is, I'm intrigued. And the wheels on this thing, the wheels are interesting. Because this bike is a guinea pig for testing product, I'm running some unconventional wheels. They're Super Team carbon fiber straight from China wheel set. They're light, they work surprisingly well, and they're only $480. But I think Master Mechanic Woody from Cyclepath sums it up perfectly.
The only problem with buying stuff, sort of no-name brand stuff, overseas stuff, is that if something does go wrong, it's going to take a really long time to figure it out, or if you can get support at all for it. So a major manufacturer, like if something goes wrong with the hub, they're going to warranty and get it in a week. Something like this, you're going to be emailing people for, possibly you get it fast, but there's a really good possibility that you won't get it at all. The other thing about buying wheels like this is that no shop is going to have parts for this. So you are going to be dealing direct with the brand. From overseas, you'll have no bike shop support. So yeah.
Wait, so this doesn't use like a standard anything?
Does not, no. Oh. I mean, it's standard and it'll fit your bike and it'll work totally fine. But the hub itself is manufactured not by a major brand. Mm-hmm. So hub, bearings, free hub bodies, paws, axles, anything like that goes wrong with the wheel, you're looking at a real time delay in getting it fixed.
These wheels look amazing. The price is absolutely right, but the long-term use and maintenance may actually end up costing as much as a brand name wheel set. Only time will tell. And because I'm testing these for you, I would like to know how long you would like them tested for. And currently these wheels are set up with Pirelli 700C by 45s. There's a chunky Cinturato on the front and a speedy gravel hard on the back. Kind of an awesome combo, honestly. Even though this bike is obtainium, aluminum, I feel like I haven't had a lot of frame fatigue from riding this on bigger rides. And it's like a little bit throwing me off because the whole narrative with aluminum is that it's like so uncomfortable and rigid and all that stuff. I can't really explain it. I find it fascinating, and maybe there's a new wave of aluminum that's gonna take over the whole industry. But what I wanna know, what do you think about aluminum? This is always my unscientific way to tell if I like a bike or not. When you do that and you hear nothing, that means you got a good one. It climbs great, it descends well, it handles all the ruckus. I would sum up this rig in one word. Okay, let me just get up this hill first. Surprising. I did not expect this thing to be as rock solid as it is. I think you'd really like it. You want to borrow it? This whole cockpit, it looks so cool. I love how fatty the top of these bars are. And this one-piece design, it looks so pro. It makes you feel like you're going faster than you are. Woo! My main gravel rig is a Villiers Jena, which is a carbon fiber, high-end. It's awesome. The thing that's throwing me off, this bike feels strikingly similar to that one. which is, you guessed it, surprising. The thing that keeps throwing me off is this bike doesn't feel that much different than higher end carbon bikes I've ridden in the past. Like, what's the deal? The handling was great, it was comfortable, the overall ride experience was just enjoyable. With aluminum, that's not supposed to happen, right? I went in expecting good enough, and I ended up getting great enough. And it makes me wonder if this is the start of aluminum breaking its reputation and becoming the next trend in cycling. And this is where it gets interesting, because we're all told that carbon is the gold standard for performance with bikes. But I did a little digging, and it turns out there's more to aluminum than I had actually realized. First, aluminum can be recycled indefinitely without losing any quality. Carbon fiber cannot. It's expensive, energy consuming, and it often just ends up in the landfill. Second, aluminum production, especially with recycled materials, generates much fewer emissions than the energy intensive process of making carbon. And third, aluminum is abundant. It's actually one of the most plentiful metals on Earth, compared to carbon fiber, which, big surprise, relies heavily on petroleum-based materials. So when you think about it, long-term sustainability, aluminum is surprisingly the clear winner. Also, how come you never hear anything about those other aspects? I mean, what the hell? So already, the Guinea Pig gravel bike has offered some surprising insights and set an impressive standard for testing products on. But it's also presented an interesting thought experiment. Can aluminum compete with carbon at this price point? Is aluminum going to make a comeback? What do you think? Stranger things have happened. The bar stem combo, fantastic value. Super Team wheels, impressive for the price, but questionable long term. And the frame exceeded all expectations. Simply put, surprising. Now, to get a full understanding of why mechanical won't work with this build, you'll have to watch this video, so you won't make the same mistakes that I did. Yeah, required watching. There won't be a test, but there will be a pop quiz.